Autónomo and Beckham Law, two terms that come up constantly in digital nomad visa planning, often in the same breath, often as if they're two sides of the same coin. They're not.
They're completely separate systems for completely different work situations, and which one applies to you changes everything: your tax rate, your monthly costs, your paperwork timeline after you land. Welcome back to Ready for DNV. I am Rafa.
And I'm Isa. Today, we're breaking both down clearly so you know exactly which path is yours before you start planning around the wrong one. Let's get into it.
Before we go into either one, quick baseline. A remote employee is someone with an employment contract. You work for a company, they pay you a salary, and that company is based outside Spain. A freelancer, on the other hand, is self employed. You earn through client invoices, project contracts, or platform work, and you're the one billing your clients directly.
Same DNV, completely different paths once you land in Spain. That's exactly what this episode is about.
Let's start with Autónomo because this one is specifically for freelancers. When you move to Spain as a digital nomad visa holder and you earn through client invoices, project contracts, retainers, platform work, you can't just keep freelancing from Spain the same way you did, example, from your home country, from the Philippines. Spain requires freelancers to register formally as self employed. That registration is called being an autonomo.
And I want to say up front, a lot of people stress when they hear this. They ask questions like, oh no, I need to register? I have to pay taxes in Spain? And the answer is always yes, but with context. Autonomo is not a punishment for freelancers. It's the normal system that millions of self employed people in Spain operate under every day.
So, when does autonomous registration happen? Not before you apply for the DNV. You apply for the DNV based on your current freelance income and documents from the Philippines or wherever you currently are. Autonomous registration happens after you arrive in Spain. Once you have your residency approved and your MIE, your Spanish tax identification number. Sequence is DNB first, Autonomo after you land.
But what does being autonomous actually involve? Three main things: a monthly social security contribution called the quota, tax filings on your income, quarterly and annual, and proper invoicing that meets the Spanish legal requirements.
Right. The quota, this is the one that makes people nervous. Ako din. Ninervyos ako. But for new autonomous, you're looking at contributions in the 230 to 300 euros a month range once established. It's not free, but it covers your Spanish social security, which here is the benefit, which includes healthcare, right? So for OFWs, freelancers, previously you have been paying out of pocket for health insurance abroad or for your personal. And that's actually a meaningful trade because this one you would have access to Spain's healthcare.
On taxes, Spain's VAT or VAT is called IVA. So this only applies to invoices issued to Spanish clients. So if your clients are in the US, Australia, the UK, and any other countries, you don't need to add IVA to those invoices. So your invoices go out the same way they always have. The 80% down Spanish income rule you need for the DND essentially means your VAT exposure as an autonomo is minimal.
Yes, and one very strong recommendation: get a gestor as soon as possible after you arrive. A gestor is a Spanish administrative professional who handles your quarterly filings, keeps your invoices compliant, and navigates the tax authority on your behalf. For a Filipino like us, new to Spain, and not yet fluent in Spanish, a gestor for around 50 to 150 euros per month is one of the best investments you can make because they would help you with all the administrative filings, all the administrative conversations, diba?
Yes, please give a gestor. Our gestor has been very, very helpful. Bottom line for this segment, Autonomo is for freelancers. Register after you land with your approved DND. Pay the quota monthly, file taxes quarterly, and keep your invoices compliant. Get a gestor.
Now let's talk about Beckham Law. Officially, it's the Régimen Especial de Trabajadores Desplazados, Spain's special tax regime for displaced workers. This nickname was actually from David Beckham when he moved to Spain for Real Madrid back in 2005. Diba? In short, instead of paying Spain's regular progressive income tax, which starts at 19% and goes up to 47%, qualified remote employees pay a flat 24% rate and for up to 6 years.
Yeah, and let's put numbers on that. Say you earn 50,000 euros a year. Under Spain's regular income tax, your effective blended rate is roughly 28% to 30%. Under Beckham Law, it's a flat 24%. So on 50,000 euros, that's roughly 2,000 to 3,000 saved every year for 6 years, and that is not small.
Now, here's the most important part everyone should listen is Beckham Law is for remote employees only. If you're a freelancer registering as Autónomo, Beckham Law does not apply to you. These are two entirely separate systems for two entirely different work setups, okay? They are not alternatives to each other.
Yes, remote employee with a foreign employment contract eligible for Beckham Law. Freelancer who registers as Autonomo, Beckham Law is not your route.
Oh, and this doesn't mean the freelancer path is worse, ha? It's just different. Autonomous have their own tax deductions. The point is, know which system is yours before you start planning.
Correct. And for remote employees in Beckham Law, it is not automatic. Getting the DNV does not enroll you. So you have to apply for it separately by filing a form called Modelo 149 with Spain's tax authority within 6 months of registering as a tax resident. So you have to remember that timeline 6 months, and after that, it's gone. You cannot apply retroactively na.
Yeah, this deadline actually catches people off guard because they're busy settling in, finding a flat, enrolling kids in school, opening a bank account. The Beckham Law application gets pushed back. Then 6 months pass, it's gone permanently.
So, if you are a remote employee who qualifies, the day you register as a tax resident in Spain, count 6 months forward, mark that date, treat it as a non negotiable.
Yes, guys, you have to mark your calendars for any deadlines, all deadlines related to your digital nomad visa. So, bottom line for this, Beckham Law is for remote employees only, flat 24% tax for up to 6 years. Not automatic, you have to file Modelo 149 within 6 months of tax residency registration, miss the deadline, and it's permanently gone.
Both paths work. Thousands of Filipinos are on both. What matters is knowing which one you are on before you land.
For a personalized picture of which path applies to your exact setup, the Digital Nomad Visa application review pack at readyfordnv.com is built exactly for this. Check that out.
Okay, on to our Q&A segment. And on this part of the podcast, we will answer the usual questions from our aspiring Spain digital nomads.
First, is ARTIN the same as the DNV? Yes. Same permit, different name. ARTIN means Autorización de Residencia para Teletrabajadores de Carácter Internacional. Official Spanish legal name yun. DNV is the Digital Nomad Visa, which is the informal name used internationally. So immigration lawyers and official documents use ARTIN. Expat communities say DNV. Both are correct.
Next question. What are the main requirements to qualify for the digital nomad visa? Mainly that you can work remotely. But first, you should meet the income requirement, which is a minimum of 2,849 euros a month. Second is the source of your income. At least 80% of the income must come from outside Spain. Your background, so no criminal record, NBI clearance for Filipinos should have apostille, and of course, other requirements are valid passport, health insurance valid in Spain, and proof of accommodation. Always verify the current income figure at readyfordnv.com. Gets adjusted periodically.
Last question for this podcast. Do Filipinos need a Schengen visa just to apply for the digital nomad visa? There are two routes. Route one is when you're applying from the Philippine consulate, and route two is you're applying from inside Spain. So Route 1, applying from the Philippine consulate, no Schengen visa needed to apply. So after your DNV is approved, you will use that DNV itself to travel to Spain. So you don't need a separate Schengen visa. Route 2, if you're applying from inside Spain, of course, you will be requiring a Schengen short stay visa. Most common path for Filipinos is they apply through the consulate in the Philippines. And in experience, some of our friends who applied from inside Spain, it's much more quicker. It takes 20 days.
All this information we share with you are available in our website readyfordnv.com. Grab our Spain full DNV guide so you have the full picture of the requirements, process, and all other considerations you should have before deciding to apply to this path. Next week, Schengen Visa for Filipinos, how it works, how to plan it, and how it connects to your DNV timeline.
This podcast drops first in our insider community. Subscribe so you'll get first dibs on valuable information. Follow us on our social media accounts at Ready for DNV and stream us on Spotify, YouTube, and on our website at readyfordnv.com.